Welcome back to another episode of Life Changers, and this is Mike. Now it's the new year. It's 2023. Yay! Woo woo! New Year's resolution times that nobody fulfills. So, how many people already did not do the resolution already? We're recording today. I think it's the 11th of January. So, how many people already stopped? It's actually the 12th of January. I see it on the computer screen. But how many people actually made the resolutions and already failed at it? Because revolutions. I don't know if I should be talking today, everybody. But resolutions are made to fail. Because you're already, when you're setting it up and saying like, okay, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to do it. Because when you hear about New Year's resolutions, it's everybody talking about how long they're going to do it. A lot of people fail at it. Yeah, there's a certain amount of people that actually go ahead and achieve the resolution that they made for whatever it is, right? But you can't see it as I'm making a New Year's resolution. You got to take control. It's there's no special time to do anything. There's no nothing. It's all about when you are ready. Like we were sitting here talking in studio and we're talking about different things. But if you're working with people and you can see the potential they have and you can let them, if you could show them and you could take them on a journey, let's say you could take them on a quantum field journey run and show them like a movie, exactly what you see in them and all the success that they can do if they wanted to do it. But if they're not ready, if they're not willing and they make a New Year's resolution that they're going to do what they're going to do, it's not going to work. You can't help people that are not seeing the same vision, that are not ready at their time. There's a lot of times in my life when people were telling me like all this amazing stuff and I wasn't ready to hear it. Like if I listened to the law of attraction, The Secret, when I was younger, when it first came out, and I actually had the same mind frame that I have now, I'd be in a lot different place. I'd already be traveling probably the world, changing people's lives all over, and talking and building the community, and already have everything beyond my wildest dreams. I know that for a fact. But the only thing is I was not ready to be helped. I was not ready for that. But it's a little seed being planted that when the time is ready. The universe works in mysterious ways. It's up to you how you're going to manipulate it and how you're going to use it to your advantage. If you choose not to use the universe for your advantage and go with all the flow or the surrender experiment, like I say, like just go with the flow, just surrender, relax, lose control. It all boils down to give up, don't force anything, and everything that you want and everything that you need and everything that you can envision and stuff that you cannot even envision and understand will come your way. And it's up to you if you want to do it. I know for a fact if I want to take Life Changer to the next level and it's going to blow up and go crazy, or if I'm just going to let it go and put it to the wayside, right? We're always motivated at first, but then it's to keep the motivation on what you're working on going and keeping that excitement going all the time. And hence why there's Life Changers is I want to keep that excitement going. I want feedback from everybody. I want to be able to help people that want it and keep the energy flowing. Because yes, we are our hardest critic. And yes, there's a lot of other energies. There's negative energies in the world. Like today, I was having a meeting with this wonderful lady, and we're talking about doing some sound in the Crystal Cave that she has, and she owns the company for. And I thought about recording so we can have the bowls in the Crystal Cave going, and we can have all this music to it and relaxation. So when I make IMs, and that we're going to post that. And in talking with her, we were talking and jiving and had a good vibration, and like the universe seems, and she was telling me her experiences, and I invited her that, well, we should do an interview on the show. And we're talking about it, just having a great time. And then I had to run a few more errands on my way back to the office today. And then just negative energy was coming my way. It's funny how that works, how you could be on like a high, right? You're a universal high or a spiritual high or having a spiritual awakening or whatever you want to call it. And you're having an amazing time. And it always seems like negativity is just around the corner trying to knock you down. Yin and yang, right? But it's up to you if you're going to let that in your heart. So I was sitting there and then I had a phone call from a customer and we're talking to things. I'm like, I'm doing everything you want. Like, you wanted me to explain my invoices better. I said, look, I'm writing the invoices the way you tell me to. Like, I just started getting angry, right? And at the same time, while I was talking to him, and like I could feel like the good energy just kind of like seeping away, like just going away. And now it's like I'm back into the real world energy or the negative energy that's going on or whatever. And I see these cops just standing there near Dairy Queen, and then I see their backs, and I don't know if they're talking to anybody or not. Then I see them kind of like dancing around, moving, like shuffling, like they're fighting with somebody. And then I see this person go flying against the wall, and the cops are like taking them to the floor, like arresting them and everything, and they're screaming and yelling. And then I was just like looking at this, like, oh, and then all this bad energy started flowing. I'm like, what's going on? Like, oh, this is like crazy. People screaming, people are freaking out. Like, I don't know what's going on. And then when I was leaving, I stopped at the red light to make my left turn. And this guy pulls up beside me and just starts yelling at me and gives me the finger and tells me I'm an asshole. And I'm just like, what the hell? I'm like, what's going on? And all this negativity. And I was just thinking about it when I was driving back to my office. I'm like, so I have this amazing, good energy, good vibes, and then this negative, like it's kind of like yin and yang. But now I had the choice to make. Am I going to let that bother me? Like, am I going to dwell on it? Am I going to think about that guy and be like, oh, that little bastard, like, I wish I could, whatever, right? Or am I just going to smile? Like I did. I just looked at him confused, smiled, waved as he flipped me the bird and yelling at me for whatever reason. I'm stopped at a red light. I'm sorry. I can't move. But now am I going to allow that negative energy in to ruin my day? Like today, we're recording a session, and I try to get the good energy, good vibes. I tried to listen to my podcast all day, like the new one we just dropped today. But, to get into the mood or listen to like IAMs or different people to get in the mood. But it's just a really busy day and a lot going on. I didn't have time to re-energize the batteries, right, with the positive energy that I'm looking for. But I know it's up to me at that point. I realized it's me to decide if I'm going to allow this energy to stay in, or am I going to lock it out and be like, nah, whatever, move on. That guy's probably having a bad day. I don't know what's going on in his life, right? Why dwell on it? Why live in the past? Why focus on it? Why have that energy when you could have any energy you choose to have? So now that brings us back to the point. We're in a new year. 2023, a lot of people are saying is going to be a spiritual uplifting year, that a lot's going on, the way the universe is and all the good energy that's going on. And a lot of people, more people than I ever like would imagine, are all having like good vibrations, and everybody's like having great emotions out there. And there's like, as they say, a big spiritual awakening going on where more and more people are interested in meditation. More and more people are interested in all this stuff. Just actually another fun story, just yesterday, delivery guy came to the store and dropped off a bunch of packages. And he's an Indian guy, and he looks at me, he's from India, and he looks at me and goes, you meditate? And I'm like, who are you? I'm like, yeah, like I'm learning. I know I butcher the name. It's like Vipassana or some type of meditation that I'm really interested in learning and trying. And he's like, oh, okay. He goes, do you Om? Do you sit there? And he shows me in the lotus position, or sit in a chair and put your index fingers to your thumbs and put them beside you and just right? And he's telling me this, and he's being trained actually that day by another FedEx guy, and the other FedEx guy was looking at me, looking at him, and I'm like, I know, like I feel weird when I do that. And he goes, okay, why? I said, I don't know, I just feel weird. I listen to guided meditations. I said, he's like, tell me a situation when you had a good experience. I said, well, I learned about grounding. So I took my shoes and socks off. I had a fire pit, so I had a fire going because it was cold out. I put my feet on the ground, and I would listen to a 10-minute guided meditation, and I just sat there. And I just experiencing whatever was willing to experience. And they say if you have your hands face up, then you're willing to learn from the universe and receive information and learn, right? But if you put your hands down on your legs, face down, palms down, that you're working on yourself, that your internal self, you're working on your energies, and you need to focus on certain things so that you're not willing to receive anything, but you're willing to learn things. So I was like, yeah, I had my hands open, going out, and I had a great experience. And he just looks at me and goes, well, I'm telling you now, you have to Om. And he goes, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm sent here to tell you that. And that was it. He left. And I was just like looking at the other guy like, what the heck? But no, right? Who am I? That guy is probably meditates every morning, every night, probably, I don't know how often or how long, but he has a connection. And he felt my connection. He felt my vibration. And he was able to give me information. So I'm going to take the information the universe is giving me. It might be random, might be crazy weird, right? But I'm going to take that information and apply it. Like, okay, this is the universe literally telling me to my face. I got to own so I could achieve more enlightenment that I'm looking for, or more law of attraction, more spiritual guidance, more whatever. I'm not going to know until I do it. But I know, like, sometimes when I tried oming before, my kids would come poke me, make fun of me, and bug me, right? They're like, oh, and start, like, making jokes about me, right? So, yeah, I could do it at the warehouse, the office, after work hours, or in the studio here. But I digress. That this year, and talking with my buddy in the studio here, we're talking, and he's like, no, that's what you need to talk about today. And yeah, I was saying that this year, I have a decision to make. I know it's my decision. That I know, I could see it, I could feel. It's hard to explain. I just know that Life Changers is going to blow up, and I'm going to be interviewing people, a lot of maybe celebrities and stuff like that. I'm going to end up on Gaia, and this year is going to be the year that we're going to take off. It's going to make or break, as they say. But the only reason why it would break is if I choose to. I'm telling you now, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt for a fact that if whatever you want to work, when people say this is the make and break time, so we got to work hard to make sure it doesn't break. Well, you're setting yourself up for failure. You have to decide that I want this to work, and it's going to work because that's all there is to it. That's the vibration I'm putting out. There is no break. If you allow that there's an option for failure, then, well, it's an easy way out. If you're uncomfortable, if something happens, somebody gave you a comment you didn't like, now, take the way out. So I want everybody now just to sit down, feel inside you of what you want. This year is the year that you're going to make it your own. You're going to decide what you're going to do and run with it. Are you going to still do the same old thing that you're used to? Like we talked about before, living in the past, right? You're used to a certain routine. You want to live in the past. You want to get on autopilot. It's hard to get out of it. Are you going to stay there and live there? Or are you going to make change? And not just like New Year's resolution change, because like I mentioned before, everybody knows New Year's resolutions fail because everybody says it does. And everybody talks about, oh, I lasted 2 months this year. Right? So no, we're not making New Year's resolutions. It's up to you. What do you want to do? I met a lady today who was telling me like, oh, for years I've been wanting to do a podcast, write books and all that. I'm like, well, now is the time. The universe brought me here at this point in time, and we're talking to each other, and you're telling me this, and I'm running a podcast. I said, let's have you on the podcast. Let's bring it and help your vibration grow, and we'll help you set up your own podcast, and every now and again, we could do podcasts together, and who knows where it's going to go, right? Like, I'm here to help people's vibrations, help people reach their goals, help people to see the potential that they have, and understand that it's all about you, right? Has nothing to do with me, has nothing to do with, oh, this person's sabotaging me. No. I could tell you, every time I felt some outside force was sabotaging me, I know now that it was just me sabotaging myself. Because I could pinpoint every time. When I started my first company, I knew in my heart, I felt like, no, don't do it this way. Do it on your own. Do it this way. And I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing, right? I took control. I'm taking control. I know everything, right? And then I set myself up for failure. I know that I say all the time, if I listened to my higher self back then, or if I listened to my still small voice in my heart or my soul or my gut telling me not to do this, I would be so much more successful. No, I literally sabotaged myself because I was not ready to be successful. I tell myself all the time that if I'm going to be really successful or be able to be multi-millionaire and all that, I want to be able to handle it and know that I can, right? I don't want to win the lottery. And I know there's people out there who can manifest the lottery. Like we talked about before, you could choose to, no, I'm not going to make my numbers win. I'm going to move into the reality where my numbers are winning. I'm going to pick numbers that are the ones that are going to be picked, right? And I'm sure there's people out there who've done it, who've won the lottery that way. The world's your oyster. You can control anything you want. I was talking to one of my buddies the other day, and we're sitting there talking. And he says, oh, I must have manifested this, eh? He's like, you can hear my Canadian accent, sorry. But He's like, yeah, I was talking about this, saying, oh, all this is going to happen, and with my family and all this stuff's going to go on. And he's like, 10 years later, now it's all set up that exact way that I said it was going to happen. I may have said it as a joke. He's like, I was fooling around, but no, now everything's happening the way I predicted it. He's like, did I create it? He goes, I'm going to start believing you now that I create my own reality. We do. You have to choose to understand we are all programmed since the day you were born to believe certain things and to think that that's impossible. You have to, like for my case, you have to work hard and you never make enough money because we just work hard and we'll never get rich. No, that's programming me to stay middle class or stay poor or stay wherever. I choose to make my own destiny, to make my own money. I'm not going to say, well, I'm going to do this and whatever, right? No, it all boils down to you. So this year is the year. If you want right now, like I kick myself in the face. I kick myself all the time saying like, I should have started Life Changers a long time ago, because now I know it's becoming more of a trend, right? Everybody's getting more like enlightened and more into learning about all this stuff, or about crystals and healing powers of the universe and stuff like that. But I've been talking about this for years before it even became popular. But I know, yeah, whatever. Why live in the past? I'm living now. So now's the decision that I choose. I'm putting it out there. It's, I'm saying it, so it shall be done, right? Like they say, so shall be written, so shall be done, back in the old days, right? But no, I choose that Life Changers are going to blow up, that this year is going to be the year where it's going to be monetized and we're going to start bringing in revenue, and I'm going to bring on an amazing team, and we're going to all work together and travel and do all sorts of amazing good out there. I just want to go all over the world and change people's lives, change one life at a time, right? Change people one day at a time, and have them understand that the potential goes with them. They have the potential to do anything you want. It's you to decide. Do you still want to do the same old thing you've been doing the last X amount of years? Right? I used to believe, I'm going to tell you right now, I still believe to this point. Now I'm going to change it right now. I always say like, oh, there's a loop, right? I get all like, oh, I'm amazing, I'm good on all this enlightenment. Then I go back down to my old self and I loop around, right? Just go in a big circle, and you're just going around and around and around in the same circle. No. Right now, I know for a fact, I'm going to break that circle. I'm just going to go where I want to go. Just go straight up, straight wherever, and make my destiny. There's no circle. There's no running away from yourself. Trust me, I moved a lot. I move around a lot because I'm like, oh, well, if I move here, I'm going to be a different person. I'm going to be able to achieve. No, you're still you. If you're living in the past, you're living with your old self. You're living on autopilot. You're leaving the decisions to your body to be like, hey, no, we're more comfortable doing this. Let's do this. This is uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. Then you'll always be in the same place. No matter how hard you try to climb out, you're always going to be where you don't want to be. Why? Because you are not 100% committed to understanding that you are in control of every aspect of your life. That is your decision. Anything is possible. But now, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to say, well, oh, no, I'm not successful in this because I couldn't find an agent to help me become a model, or help me become an actor or an actress, or to help me with my music career? I'm telling you right now, Tom McDonald, with his song Ghost and all these other amazing songs that he has out there, and he does not have studio reps or anybody. He's on his own 100%, doing his own thing. He's actually turning people down. They're writing him saying, hey, we want to, Paramount Picture, we want to work with you, or, Sony Records, let's work together. And he's just like, nope. And he is changing the music industry. You heard it here first. He's going to change it where any artist that wants to up and come can do it on his own and does not need a record label. Look how high. He's number one on the charts across Canada, the US, and so on, with his song Ghost. And then he had his other song, Fighter, that we talked about in another podcast, Believing in Yourself. But he's changing the music industry, that if you become popular and you're able to push yourself and make your music on TikTok, like I see a lot of people doing, making your music on YouTube or any other place that you can do it and get your following, that you can reach whatever you want, and you're going to be able to achieve it mainstream, where even the mainstream labels cannot say, oh no, this guy is nobody because he has no record. No, they're acknowledging that he is number one with that song Ghost all across Canada and the US. and he has no major label. There's nobody stopping you but you. That this is the year. Listen to my voice, close your eyes, think about what you want, what you always dreamed about, and say, no, this is my reality. I'm stepping into this reality right now. Let's step into that reality. I'm stepping into my reality where Life Changers is monetized, very successful, and I'm able to pay my sound technician, pay crew, and let's take this to the next level and change people's lives for the better. I want everybody to have an amazing experience. I want everybody to see their full potential. I want everybody to feel how amazing life can be if you choose to make it amazing, that there's nothing else out there that can stop you from being successful, that there's so many people out there, people that you would look at a glance and be like, oh, this person, it was weird or crazy, but they're changing their lives by giving up. I see a lot of people from every walk of life that is either heard my podcast, heard other podcasts like it, or other TikToks like it. They're all like, yes, the key to success is not being in control, that you just go with the flow and trust that what you want and step into that reality. If you want a reality where you're making $10,000 cash in your hand right now, step into that reality. Choose to make that your reality. Don't be like, oh, that'll be awesome if one day. No, there's always a one day, there's always an if. But now is the time for you to choose your success and change your life and have your story told and be like, wow, I literally chose. And then you'll be able to do whatever you dream of doing and making it a reality. That's the only person that's stopping you is you. The only person that will stop me from being successful is if I decide to turn it off. If I decide, okay, I'm done, turn it off. I don't want to be successful. And you'd say, oh, Mike, no, everybody wants to be successful. I never want to turn it off. No, you're going to turn it off subconsciously if you like it or not. It all depends on the way we are thinking and the way we need to program ourselves. You have to understand. It's up to you to reach up and grab the apple from the tree. The world's going nowhere. The tree's not moving. Your dreams are sitting as dreams. That's why they call them dreams. Make it reality. Choose that when you go to sleep, if you want your dreams to be real, choose that when you go to sleep, that you're going to experience in different lives or different things that you need to know and to help you in your life for success. And you're going to talk to your higher selves and talk to all these other amazing people if you want. And that will be real. I don't see dreams when I go to bed. I'm not like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep and have weird, crazy dreams. No, I choose to go to sleep and have eye-awakening moments where I'm going to see things, understand things, and that when I wake up in this reality, I'll be able to understand what I need to do to be where I want to be and just step into that reality. There's a reality of you already achieving all your dreams and goals. Are you going to step into it, or are you going to let it pass you by? I do not want you to let it pass you by. I want you to understand that you are in 100% control of your destiny. But what are you going to do with it? Now is your time. Are you going to hold it and step into that reality that you want, where you are amazing and you're successful? Because I'm telling you now, you already are amazing. You already are successful at what you're doing at this moment. I feel like, oh, I'm going to be more successful later, or I'm not there yet. But like I told you in another podcast, if I look back 5 years, 10 years ago and talk to myself then and tell him what I'm doing now, he'd be like, oh man, I made it. I'm a god, all right? I achieved everything. How can we not happier, right? We've got to choose to be happy, live in the moment, and be happy now. Don't be happy later. Oh, I'll be happy if I had this. I'll be happy. No, be happy now. Love life. Life is amazing. We live in a beautiful world. And we live in an amazing world where we can create thought into reality. And what are we going to do with that? Are you going to create your dreams? Or are you going to stay in your nightmare? You're going to stay in your same story that you don't like, apparently, and you're dreaming of other things. Stop dreaming and doing. Now is the time. I want everybody out there to write down on a notebook what you want and say, this is the reality I'm stepping into. And then listen to my other podcast that we just dropped today. I believe it's called What Are You Waiting For? And listen to that meditation and step into your new reality. Because now you have a reality to step into. Now you know what you want. Now you're going to achieve it. You're going to do it. And if you're watching on YouTube, please write comments right now. Write in the comment section what you're going to step into. What reality are you stepping into? Are you stepping into a reality where you're going to be a successful podcast? Are you stepping into a reality where you're going to be a successful business person? Or are you going to step into a reality where you're going to have write a book or whatever. Just write down the comments. Make it real. Make it real. We could turn thought into reality in this world. And now that I know that, it's amazing what you can turn into. And if you don't believe me, look at situations when you thought of something and then you're like, oh, wow, that's real now, or this actually happened. I can tell you right now, there's always times when you're like, when you're to say, oh, I'm going to have a bad day today, then you have a bad day. You literally created that. Or this is going to happen. And then that happens. Like, oh, quinky-dink, right? Right? Groundhog Day. And that happened. No, you made that happen by thought, and then you said it to make it into reality. Say it out loud what your reality is and that you're stepping into it. Make it real to you, however way you need to do it. And I tell you, you will be more successful. You will achieve your success. You will make that a reality if you make it real. You have to make it real. You can't just keep it as a thought. So write it down. Say it out loud. When you're talking to people, talk as if it already happened. And it will happen. It's amazing what we can do. We're in 2023. It's an amazing year. Every year is amazing. Every day is amazing. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to grab every day and live it to the fullest? Or are you going to let it pass you by and say, one day I'll be successful, then 20 years passes and you did not do nothing with it? I want everybody to achieve their goals, to achieve success, to achieve everything they want. I want everybody to know how amazing you are right now, at this moment, at this time. You are amazing. You are loved. You are the most amazing person in the world and in the universe. We are all unique, and we all are in this world together, and we're all creating our amazing lives. And no, be happy. We have food. We have a roof. We have a car. Or you have everything you need to survive. But if you want more, make it a reality. Don't make it out of reach saying you cannot achieve it. You can achieve anything you put your heart and soul into. And all you have to do is bring it into this reality and make it real. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much for listening. This is Mike with Life Changers. And remember, you are a work in progress. It takes one day at a time. Later.